Jean Cregan here today with a guest video message for all of you. I love Christmas and I love all things Christmas. So the fourth week of Advent is a lovely time for me to visit with those that I miss and love so much at Holy Family. I, this past week, was helping my daughter prepare to have some friends over for a cookie decorating party that they wanted to do, and they had a little competition around it and so forth. And my schedule was quite busy. This season has been a little bit hectic. And I wasn't going to be able to be here for most of the party, but she's 17, so I figured she could kind of handle the cookie decorating this time on her own and so forth. But she was kind of making me feel a little bit bad about it. And anyone who knows me knows that, being a better parent to these three humans that I've brought into the world is a huge part of my life. And so I spent the week kind of thinking, what should I do? Should I change my schedule? Is there a learning opportunity in here? What should I do? I do love all things Christmas, and so does she. So I enjoy sharing those moments with her. And as it turned out, as the Sunday approached, my schedule changed out of my control, and I needed to be some places earlier in the day that prevented me to go to the things later in the day, and I would in fact be home for her party. So I snuck into her room early in the morning thinking like she was going to be thrilled, like I was thrilled. And she kind of looked back at me and said, yeah, whatever, Mom. Like, I know how to throw a party. It's really not a big deal. Like, I don't really need you. And I put on my brave face and I left the room, and I told my husband what happened. And he said, you do know she just says that, right? Like, she's a teenager, and you do know that all she wants is your presence. Yeah, intellectually, I know that. I know what the spiritual and psychological and emotional milestones are and what age of development she's in. But in the moment, I failed to realize it sometimes. And I think that's why parenting is an excellent analogy for faith. Whether you have children or not, we are celebrating God with us, right? Advent draws our attention to commemorate the birth of Jesus, the baby that changed the world 2,000 years ago, right? We're called to attention to repent and take stock in our lives. And John the Baptist is asking us, what if Jesus came again now, right? Are you ready? But the third part is preparing for Jesus to come into our lives each and every day. Emmanuel actually means God with us. I think we brush by that, the importance and the intensity of those very simple words, that God is in fact with us in all time, in all moments. If we remembered that, right, the other two would naturally fall into place. I think our world kind of acts like the moody teenager. It does anything it can to not let us realize how much we need to recognize that God is with us, how much we need to take time in quiet, how much time we need to spend in prayer. These weeks are really busy getting ready for Christmas, when no matter what your circumstances, whether you're traveling, whether you're in a difficult situation, a changed Christmas this year, whether it's just shopping and buying and getting caught up, or if it's baking and preparing, we all have things that cause strain and stress on our time. But if we really believe Emmanuel, God is with us, right? Then our real task of Advent and Christmas season is to, in fact, take a step back and recognize that God is, in fact, with us in each moment, every moment of every day. Steven Spielberg was quoted, right? He was interviewed and he was asked, what do you hope God will say to you when you finally see him? And Steven Spielberg replied, thanks for listening. I think in the couple days we have left this Advent and the beautiful season of Christmas that follows, we should take a moment to just say, how can I listen? Not just be present to the other people around us, but be present to God, because I think he wants us to be there too. At the end of the day, my daughter was thrilled when I entered the house early for her party and literally said, Mom, I'm so glad you're here. But she tried to convince me otherwise. I think the world tries to convince us that we don't need God. And in fact, that's what we need more than anything, to take a little bit of time, a pause, to listen. I wish each of you a very Merry Christmas, and I hope to see you all very soon.